have all this stuff done after. Okay? On your hip? You have to wait until after the 20th.
It's not going to happen that quick. There's no surgery this time.
Yeah, okay. Welcome to the Yountville Arts Commission meeting on February 3rd. Could we have roll call, please?
Yes, Commissioners Meredith,
Here.
Lay,
Present.
Dorenbecker,
Here.
Vice Chair Resnick,
Here.
and Chair Shear.
Here.
Noting Commissioners Hudson and Captain are absent.
Thank you. I'll rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Is there a motion to adopt the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. And then approval of minutes. If you read the minutes from last meeting, did you have any changes or corrections?
No corrections, but under number 11A, after the abstention, the spacing on that last line looks really odd. It looks like it's justified to the right instead of, but not a big deal.
I make a motion that we adopt the agenda.
Minutes.
Oh, excuse me,
Yeah.
that we approve the minutes.
Seconded.
Okay, a motion to adopt the minutes of last meeting. Everyone in favor? Aye.
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 Anyone opposed? No. Thank you. The motion carries. Public comment. Sam, do you have any? Okay. So I'd like to introduce the commissioners to Linda Faber. Linda is interested in working with commissioners on our programs in the role of an associate. And eventually, if we don't work her to death, she would like to, she's weighing whether to continue as and apply for a commissioner mid-year. So I'm going to have her speak in just a moment, but I wanted to say that I've known Linda for many years. She's a PhD. She and her husband are art collectors, and they used to be good clients of mine. So she's very savvy when it comes to art. And we also served on the museum board, Napa Valley Museum Board together. So she's great to work with. And with that, Linda.
Thank you for the time. Thank you for the time. I'm most pleased to be able to attend the first meeting. I've heard about the commission for so long from Rhonda, and I attend most of your activities and your events because we're very interested in supporting the local arts community. Now, my whole career has been spent on giving and caring for people, caring for local communities, wherever they happen to be. I, by chance, happen to have been an international healthcare consultant, so I worked around the world helping governments, hospitals, commissions, presidents of countries on developing their healthcare programs, whether it was a clinical policy or quality program or their documentation system. So I've been involved in that. So you all drive to work. I flew to work around the world. And in my career, I worked in 33 countries. So I've been giving, but I've been retired for 5 years. And so I was really busy. And so I'm looking for involving myself and giving back to my community. Yes, I've been on the Napa Valley Museum Board. Rhonda brought me in 7 or 8 years ago. I'm still there, but I'm interested in spreading my wings and giving it a different level. I'm also on the I'm also chairman of the Napa Valley Country Club's 9-hole women's group, and I've done that for 8 years. I did that while I was in China and around the world managing that group. So
Oh.
I know how to do details. Okay, so I'm very interested in that. But so why am I interested in you in Yountville? Well, because I'm very interested in supporting our local community, and I think what we have to offer in Yountville with the Arts Commission is phenomenal. You've got so many fingers, not just in Dutch. You've got so many fingers, an expanse of all the different things that you do. Whether it's the legacy for wine, whether the legacy for the authors, whether it's a sip and stroll, whether it's the new galleries opening, or getting the sculptures in the community and walking around. I just love all that, and I'd like to help support our local community from that standpoint. So I'm really, really very interested in that. My hobbies, of course, I'm an art collector, glass and turned wood. My hobbies are golf and bridge. I'm an avid bridge player, so I'm always looking for new games to play in. Okay. And I have a husband, yes. We've been married for 43 years, a long time. Okay. I have 2 children that are grown. I have 5 grandchildren, and I have 1 cute little Bichon dog that lives at home with me. So I would love to hear about you and learn about how I might be able to support you in your endeavors. So thank you very much.
Thanks for joining us, Linda. Thank you for being here. Now, is Linda allowed to join the conversation or not?
After each item, if there's public comment, if you want to ask for public comment, you can, if she has questions or, yeah.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Sam. Okay. Sam, would you like to introduce the Art Fund report,
Art
please?
Fund report, yes. So in your packet was the Art Fund report ending December, so through the half of the year. Nothing really of note to share, nothing out of the ordinary. I'm still working on the art fee fund, so that's the restricted public art fund for the art walk, just doing some analysis on what projects maybe have come in for commercial building permits and see if I can do some estimates to see where we may end up this year. But the majority of all of the first part of the report, the Yountville Arts Program, the general fund is pretty much right on track, going into Art Sip and Stroll. And then the restricted fund, our revenue looks high at $25,305, but that was the CID one-time money that went in there for the expense of Chaos Pamplona restoration.
Where is that, Sam?
That was in the public art program fee fund restricted, the 235414.
That was the question. Okay,
Yeah.
so we received the money from TDED, right?
Yes.
So it's showing what $30,000 has been spent.
Yeah, so we have had a couple of stipends, and then the 20 it was just under, I think, 24,000 for Chaos.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
So that $35,000 includes the TDID money? The 35.8 that's in the budget?
That's a adopted budgeted expense. If you look under the actuals line, which is the middle revenue, 25,305 is the revenue, and the 25,000 of that revenue is for the money from the TBID.
I guess I don't understand, but that's...
That's
you
okay.
know.
So yeah, so there at the top it shows adopted budget, actuals, and then difference. And so that middle column there, under revenue, it says 25,305.
Right.
So that's what we brought in. So 25,000 of that
Okay.
was the TBID money, yeah. And so now that we're halfway through the year, I'll see, is there any money to move in from commercial building fees? Which I know there'll be some, it's not going to be substantial, but we'll go ahead and move that. And then, continue to chip away at it.
There
and
was
see.
a conversation when Brad was here, a couple months ago. I know the answer, but I'm going to ask anyway.
Yeah.
For all of the work that's been done on the commons, we aren't getting any percentage, or are we?
We are. Anytime we've had to apply for a building permit, you would have seen, I believe, the small amount, but it's not. It's still not super substantial, in all honesty.
Really?
The 1% doesn't go too far. So the main money is coming in through big projects, but I'll double check on that too.
Oh, that's great if we are. I didn't know if we were.
Yeah. And so I'll do that analysis, and hopefully at the next meeting can kind of share, where I would estimate, see us going for the rest of the year, pending any large projects, coming in that I don't know about. So
It's probably too early to show up, but the 20% commission on art sales, is that?
so those will both, I believe, be in the January report. Yeah.
In the January report?
Yeah. Well, this is ending December 31st.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. So yeah, the end of January report, which I haven't received yet, because it usually takes them a week or two to close for the month. It'll reflect that in there.
And where will we see those?
So right above that, where it says
I see,
art sales
art sales.
revenue, art sales commissions expense. So that's where you'll see that.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah,
Thanks, Sam.
absolutely. And then obviously there's been no change in the community foundation. We've not spent or moved money there. Happy to answer any other questions.
Okay. Any other, nothing? No
No,
questions?
not for me.
Okay, art walk, that's me. So we have 2 sales this month. One took extremely long and one took extremely not long. So the dancing monarchs that we've talked about since July actually came through, and we have money, and Peter's getting started on that. It's going to be an 11 butterfly stainless steel structure. Probably won't get installed, not before mid-year anyway, since it's for the city of Pacific Grove. It's actually being bought privately, and it's going to be donated to the city of Pacific Grove in a public park, so that'll be great. And so that's all. We're still working on it, but that's all come together, and we have money, which is good. And then some lovely people from Livermore came in to see Sam a couple weeks ago, or a week ago.
It's like a week, last
it a week?
Monday, I think I talked to him.
They own Madison Vineyards in Livermore. They fell in love with Raven Story at Hopper Creek, and within 2 days, I think, they bought it. So things way out.
Do you find out how they became aware of the sculpture?
They were staying in town. First of all, they own a vineyard, so obviously they're interested in the wine business. But they were walking the art walk,
Okay.
and this sculpture just spoke to them. They listened to the QR code, and
Literally spoke to them.
yeah, literally, yeah. And they were just enamored with it, and said they've redone some grounds at their winery, and they've been looking for a special sculpture that had special meaning to them. And you know how it is, and one likes it, one doesn't like it, or yeah, we kind of, whatever. But they saw this one, and it was it. So really super nice people. And he's going to pour a pad. We discussed all of the specifications in that. The time of year is not favorable for pouring concrete, so we're working with him on keeping the sculpture for a while until he's ready for it. There is going to be, at some point, construction in Hopper Creek. So if he is not ready with his pad by the time that happens, you may know when that's going to happen. I don't know.
It'll be a while.
It'll be a while. Okay. Anyway, we might be able to kind of hurry him along if the weather's good on that pad, and if not, we'll work with him on something. So anyway, that's good news. 2 sculptures is great for us. So feels good.
Congratulations, Rhonda.
Yeah, that's great.
Well, takes a
Nicely-
village, right, Sam? I'm glad Sam was here. Changes to the art walk. You may have noticed, and Sam, anytime, if it's still the same as you've written.
It is. It's not changed.
That's good. I'm glad to hear. The Yellow Sphere has been bought by Gary Jabara and was given to the town, I assume? Yeah. So it now is in front of Town Hall. And is that still going to be on the art walk?
Yeah.
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 I assume it could be. So we own that now, or the town owns it. And it looks great. What else has happened? The book sculpture has been moved to the back of the Commons where the wall is that has all the handprints, because the book has all the handprints. So that's a great place for it.
Will we keep that on the art walk as well?
I don't think so. Do you?
It's kind of off the beaten path now. Yeah. I think we keep the pad, but it's, now the Yellow Sphere probably is.
Yellow Sphere is probably going to be a permanent resident, I would
Yeah.
imagine. Yeah. I like how it looks. I wasn't sure I was going to, but I think it does give a good identity to this complex.
Yeah.
You just look for the Yellow Sphere. It's pretty.
We're going to work on some lighting for it.
Oh, nice.
For a what?
We're going to work on some lighting for Yellow Sphere as well. So at night it can be
When
well
you want
lit.
to talk to Ivan,
Yeah.
Okay. And Brad had, I thought, a great name, and that is we could call it the Yountville Sun. Yeah, I know. So
I like it.
I know, I like it too.
Yeah.
Are we going to we should do a plaque for it. We should get all that.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Maybe it could reference the donation or something. We can work on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which makes me think, Caitlin, would you and Cindy get together on some of the art walk forms and so forth that she keeps track of? There's a sculpture index. Am I right, Sam? Mm-hmm. There's also a price list. They're all on Google Drive, but I think she could explain. I think the information usually comes from me, and then she drops it into the forms. I use those all the time, especially the sculpture index, because it has pad locations, and it has dimensions, and it has some really good information when I'm talking to somebody who's interested. And then there's also the plaques that get ordered. Again, I give her the information, and she orders them and follows up. So I don't think it's too early to get you involved. We're not real active right now.
Yeah, no problem. Be happy to reach out to her.
Great. Awesome. Thank you. So what else have we got? Okay. There's also the Karen Ingalls Heart. I'm not sure how that got switched, but whatever makes anybody happy is fine. If you recall, the Hearts of Yountville program that were just placeholders that we bought 4 or 6.
Yeah, we started with 4. 2 have been sold.
2 have been sold, and we have 2 left, and they're in storage. And so Sam or Brad, whoever thought it was a great idea, Brad, to put one of the hearts in front of the health club next door. And has it been installed?
Yes.
Probably, yep.
Yeah.
Does it look good? Yeah. It looks really good. Yeah, it's great. And so we have 1 left, and we'll see
Yeah.
where.
And it's not, that one is still, if we want to move the Karen Ingalls Heart at any time to hold it somewhere else, it's
great.
Obviously open for that.
Thank you for that. So that one probably won't be on the art walk either. Yeah, they're kind of out.
Yeah, it's kind of set back. So,
Yeah.
but it's nice because it's not on a pad, but it's really well attached. But it's still open for you to move it around as you want. So, but I don't think so.
Yeah. Okay. I agree. So things are moving around on the art walk, and I doubt they'll continue to. I hope they continue
not.
to. The Mare and Foal were removed by the Chandler Estate, and then the Untitled that was in front of North Block was also removed by Adam Wiseman. And then we're still waiting for the town attorney on the sculpture coming in from India.
Yeah.
So it's more complicated than we thought.
It is complicated. The first part is not as complicated. It's pretty clear on the loan part. It's the what happens when he doesn't want it back part that Gary's trying to navigate, the town attorney. So I'm waiting on that from them.
Well, if it gets to be too,
Yeah.
we'll just
I just told him, just to let us know if is this too complicated, or is, should we just let it go or whatever. So hopefully we'll hear back.
I started to write him. I sort of miss him. I was hearing from him almost every day. But I didn't really have anything to tell him.
Yeah.
So I just canceled it, and I figured we'd hear when we hear.
Update him when we can.
He hasn't contacted me, so. Okay, so that is Art Walk. And Jeffrey, would you like to lead off on the gallery report?
Oh, sure.
Thank you.
So we discussed the Right from the Heart last time, and the Midnight Trays we also discussed last time, still pending a response on that one. Cindy included the schedule for this coming year. After Right from the Heart comes down, we'll have Viva Colores, Janice Adams and Jose Chavez, then the Art Sip and Stroll Gallery Show with John Sessenbaugh. Is that right, Sessenbaugh?
Yep.
Sensenbaum.
Then, I'm sorry?
Sensenbaum?
No, it's
Oh,
not
there's-
bomb, it's ba.
Bah.
Huh.
Bah.
Sensenbaum.
Anyway, John. And then we will have the Seward Johnson family with the Seward Johnson Trays, July to September, and then Loretta Loyader, September to November, and then this year's youth art exhibit from December 4th until I think it's January 16th or something like that. So that schedule's set up, and we're working on the 2026 schedule. Any questions?
I'd like to add a multitude of thank yous to Caitlin and Samantha for an incredible opening of Right from the Heart. You guys, I mean, this one was everywhere, everywhere, including taking a sale. And the number of emails that I know I've been getting, I think Sam has also been getting, we never get that kind of a response from artists and writers. It was really a great evening, and everybody was happy. And I hope the Chamber will do it again.
Well, I would like to report that the Chamber would love to do it again next year.
Oh, that's awesome.
Fantastic.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we had a great recap meeting last week, and I think
good.
minor, tweaks we discussed a little bit, but overall, I think everyone was really happy with
Yeah.
the outcome.
That's great. Well, they did a great job.
They did.
They
We
did.
couldn't do it without
Really
them.
did. So well organized. I mean, I didn't hear a glitch.
Yeah.
It was just, it was great. It was a great crowd. People that don't usually come out, I think were there. So yeah, it was, so thank you. Thank you. Caitlin, have you been able to reach Terry or your sister, or how is Terry Sanderson?
I discussed it with Jeffrey, and my sister is willing.
Great.
And then I'll reach out to you as well, just to let you know about Terry and everybody else. So,
Okay,
yeah.
will your sister be willing to talk to Terry?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
I'd just like to add a thank you for the two of you in that whole process, too, keeping track of all the submissions and all the dates and all the pictures and all the communications and everything else. It was very well done, and thank you for all your efforts with that.
Absolutely. Caitlin has some really good ideas about if we do another, which I'm sure at some point we will, a multi-artist show like that, how we can maybe streamline things a little bit.
Great.
So
I'd love to hear about it.
Yeah, great.
using Art Call maybe or something, just a little easier for on the back end to track.
Yeah.
Anything to make it easier, I'm open to. It was a challenge, yeah.
But it was well done.
It was.
I mean,
we
in
were
reality, that's 60 artists. That's
Yes.
a lot of
60
organization.
was a lot.
Yeah.
But I think we got a status, every couple of days or so, and that helped us keep moving everybody
Right.
along. So
Right.
it was great. So, thank you. So we have a proposal in front of us for the gallery. This is actually for the first show of 2026, which we're moving into now. And I'll explain a little bit. If you have any questions, please feel open. This involves the photo finale that for 2 years was at Jessup. And it was very successful. Michael Scher put it all together. He works with the photographers. It's a photography show. Well, the mission statement is there, but it's a photography show that is an invitational. In fact, Linda had an image, and you sold it. Yep.
So you'll do another one?
Yeah, yes, she will. She will. So anyway, Jessup has new management, as you know, and they have a different view on the type of art shows they want to do. And it just was more discouraging than encouraging. So by the time all that came to pass, it was late in the year. And his efforts, the long and the short of it is, he skipped this year for the photo finale, but he would like to do it next year. So actually this kind of got energized at the Right from the Heart opening, because a lot of photographers were there who were really disappointed that he didn't do it this year. And they kept saying, why don't you do it here? So this was a conversation over dinner that night because he had never, shown any interest in that before. But, it'll give us a lot of energy in that new year. It certainly is a big representation of the mustard celebration, which gives us, a nice role to play. Having the chamber involved in the opening and all of the vendors for the mustard celebration there is it is kind of a nice, energetic thought for us. And he does all of the invitations to the photographer. He filters the photographers. He does all of the work that poor Caitlin got straddled with on this last show. So I think, just his part of it is somewhat of a relief for staff. And we know he can do it because he did it for 2 years successfully. So that's the request.
Before I motion to approve this, and I'll wait to see if there's any other comments or questions, this event, if you haven't been there, is tried and true, and it's magnificent. It really celebrates art and photography, and there's been huge crowds and local. So I think it's going to very easily just move a little bit south, and we'll have huge crowds. And I think I'm so excited when Rhonda shared this with me. I couldn't contain myself. And Michael does all the work.
Yeah.
He just manages the whole thing as you managed, right from the heart. And it'll mostly be ours to enjoy.
And I think it just makes sense with the mustard festival. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's been some time since we've done, as I understand it, photography in the gallery. I think it's a nice move and a nice alternative. Caitlin will find something else for you to do, I'm sure. Don't be too disappointed. But I really like the idea. I think it's a really good presentation, I think, is Jessup's loss and our gain, really, unfortunately. But I really like the idea. I think it'll just be very fun. And the photography at that opening last year was, or 2 years ago, I guess now, was so amazing. I mean, it was just not just, it wasn't just take a picture and mount it. I mean, these artists did some amazing things with this photography, and I think it'd be a great show for our gallery. So I want to second the motion.
I think, did you want to say something?
Well, I just wanted to ask, so is Jessup going to then want to do it another time, or?
Under
don't
this
know.
present management, yeah, it's hard to know, but under the present management and the direction they're going with the art, it doesn't seem likely.
I see. Anyway, I'm delighted that we'll have it, and the photo finale is, God, I've enjoyed it every time, so.
Then I would like to officially move that we adopt the photo finale show for the gallery at the beginning of next year, 2026. Oh, my goodness.
I'll second
Seconded.
that.
She beat you.
Do we have a?
Seconded.
Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you. So all, per Noel's fine motion, all in favor of adopting photo finale for the January through March segment of 2026? Aye.
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 Any opposed? No. So the motion carries. Thank you.
Tell Michael thank you. We're excited.
Well, he is too. Thank you. Thank you all. So literary, Jeffrey.
So I'm sorry I didn't get a report in. I got sidetracked with some other things, but the Handwritten Out Loud event is still on, but it was moved to February 16th because none of us are active sports fans and forgot that Super Bowl is on the 9th. So people were starting to buy tickets and then withdraw because of that. And so, and what's interesting, there's still 3 people I've not gotten official confirmation of, but not only did we not lose any presenters, but one person was going to be out of town, and one of the poet laureates, and will now be in town. So we actually gained a presenter. We were going to read his poetry, but so that's going to work out just fine on the 16th, 4 to 6. Can't think of which one with this. The bookmark stories contest is proceeding. We have set up dates for doing 2 different kind of gatherings of how to write bookmark stories. One here in Yountville at the boardroom on March 25th, 10 to 11:30 in the morning, and one in the LifeWorks room at the Napa Valley Library on April 1st, 4 to 5:30. So we'll hold those and try and do a little more advertising. The second year we didn't have anybody at those, but I think we just didn't get the word out enough, and so we'll work on that as well. People are still picking up the bookmarks and seem to be enjoying them, and so we'll continue to pass those out from last year. And we've ended up with 9 participants in the writing celebration. Some are repeats, some are new for us. So that's going well as well. And I think that's it, if there are any, unless there are any questions.
Great job, as always.
Thank you.
When is the bookmark, when is that over?
We'll start accepting in early April through 25th or so, or the end of June, something like that. We're doing a longer one this year, and we're going to try and keep that roughly the same period each year so that people can kind of count on it year after year.
I love it. It's great. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm actually one other thing. I'm also starting to contact some of the teachers of the local high schools so we can try and encourage more youth participation. That was the one thing I didn't feel like we did very well last year, and so we'll try and pick that up and get more youth involved. But the one winner was happy at his winnings. Yes.
So, is he the only one who does the bookmark, or do they all get?
They all get $100 and the plaque and the bookmarks printed. Yeah.
The winners.
The winners, the four 4 this year. Hopefully we'll have 5 again next year.
And you have a committee that does the judging?
Yeah, I haven't put those together. Each year I change it a little bit, and I haven't figured out who to ask. I usually ask someone who has done quite well with the bookmarks to join us kind of from the community, who also is a good writer and evaluates that. But I haven't consolidated that yet.
Sure.
But three of the 4 will probably repeat, but I rotate one person off each year and get at least one new perspective on
Yeah,
the
that's good.
view. Yeah.
Great. All right, thank you. Noel,
Marketing.
what is happening with marketing?
Well, Sam and I received an interesting, or we both saw an interesting email from Visit Napa Valley, which was a call for content. So we signed up. Yeah. I filled out the forms and sent artwork and whatever it is they needed for Art Sip and Stroll. And Sam, I believe you entered another event?
I asked Caitlin too.
Caitlin, do you want to tell about what you also submitted?
I submitted for the Art Sip and Stroll, also the Find Your Heart in Yountville for the weekends, and I looked this morning on the calendar, and it is on there for this weekend.
Is this all digital?
On the website, yeah.
But they might also, at some point, when different publications are looking for content, or influencers or bloggers, they will have it there as a directory, and they can share it. So they have those events from us. We thought it was great that they're getting involved and requesting content. So we jumped on that opportunity.
Right.
Noel, is that mostly for visitors? Is that the focus of this, is for people visiting in town? This call for content, the Napa Valley Visit Napa Valley?
It's for marketing. It's for marketing overall. So
Okay.
I would imagine, well, if it's digitally there, then anybody who is coming to Napa Valley can look on their website and find the events. But also they will push it out if there's a request for content from different publications.
Okay.
And I've seen on their social media too, like they were doing like a Calistoga focus one week, and then they highlighted certain things on their social media posts. So like maybe something we've submitted could pop up during their Yountville highlight. You never know. So
I was just wondering if like something like Handwritten Out Loud, just coming for that, or other kinds of literary things might be of interest.
It's possible. I think they're looking more for an event or something,
Okay.
just a little longer running.
Right.
But
Okay.
we can always share that with you, and you can submit it. It's just description and contact info and photos, anything you have.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
it can be hit or miss. I mean, I've submitted things just for their calendar, which they have chosen not to pick up.
Right.
So
Okay.
I think they look at it and I think their first line is it visitor focused or
Okay.
of interest, and then they make the decision. But it doesn't hurt to submit
No,
it.
it never hurts to get it out there.
And they don't usually pay much attention to us. And I think Visit Napa Valley isn't it a statewide connection?
It's
of
under Visit California.
Visit California.
Okay.
Right. So it's a if you're coming to Napa Valley, you could conceivably contact Visit Napa Valley, and they'd send you a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
And then for Find Your Heart, we, as you recall, we had a beautiful ad that we created for 6557 magazine that ran in the fall issue. And I think now, rethinking it next year, when we follow up and do an ad, if we do an ad, I think maybe we should just go for the winter edition, because they're dropping their publication much earlier. Our concern was they wouldn't drop it till the middle of February.
Well, I looked back and I thought, why did we decide that? And the dates that they sent us were not the dates that they're dropping. So I think that has changed.
I know the dates, based
Yeah.
on the drop dates we had, we went, oh, this is crazy, because it's going to drop after the event or in the middle of the event, so let's at least do it before the event. But from now on, they've got new drop dates now. So we would do it for the winter edition, which would make sense because it would just have come out recently, and of course, Find Your Heart is starting. So, but that's okay. I'm sure a lot of people saw it, and we're getting a lot of good coverage every place else. The chamber newsletter this past Friday had copy and ran the ad that we had in the magazine, so that was beautiful. It was like right front and center as you scroll down, and very often now, in order, just because of staffing and all the workload, there'll sometimes just be a link where you go to the information, but this had the ad on the newsletter, which was really nice. And Sam, I know you're exploring additional media distribution for the duration of the show. Did you want to talk about that at all?
Of Find Your Heart.
Yeah.
I was not successful with the Marketplace magazine, which we can follow up on that later. I think we're looking at really just mostly focusing on social media. It seemed like the advertising cost for the
Press
paper,
Democrat.
yes, Press Democrat, was a little out of reach, and the distribution changes in our local newspapers, I feel like, may not be the best bang for our buck. So I know Lisa Adams Walters was running information in the Sun on the. Did I miss it? Was it on Thursday? Last Thursday's edition, front page. Yeah, last Thursday's edition, front page. I've been buried, so.
And lots on the inside.
And lots on the
Lots on the
inside, which was
inside.
Big
lovely.
article.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait, don't blow the whole thing now. You're coming up
sorry.
next to talk
Oh,
about it,
yeah.
unbeknownst to you.
Yeah. So, I mean, Brad had a good time this weekend, and I've kind of been walking back and forth a lot today. I didn't see any leftover, so I'm assuming it went really well.
Great.
Yeah, I think it's people already took them. So, yeah,
And
it's good.
then Rhonda, who is Yountville's son, and Paul Franson, why don't you take that away?
Well, you did see, Lisa did us good on this one. And I think it was really timely because it's a small program, really, and primarily community-based. And so to advertise it even in Press Democrat or even Marketplace, I'm not sure it's the best value for our advertising dollar. We certainly will make up for that with Art Sip and Stroll and maybe other bigger programs that we have. But I really thank them for their support and going. She called and she wanted quotes, and she really did some research on top of what we sent us. So I appreciate that.
And considering she's new to the Sun, she's not new to Yountville or any of our programs, she did a beautiful job, Rhonda. She really gave us lots of great coverage. And I know with all the transition that's going on with publications and distribution locally, we're always a little concerned. But good job.
She did, no, she did it. And then Paul Francis picked us up as the leadoff story in his newsletter from last Monday, which was great. And then the chamber gave us the ad. So I think on our own we're doing a lot, to promote the program. And of course it continues now every weekend through the end of the year. And you're going to have good weather.
Luckily.
Yeah.
Now, are you sharing what I think you're sharing?
You may.
No, you go right ahead.
Well,
This is an honorary member
yeah.
of the Yountville Arts Commission and a major contributor to what we do.
So the magazine, as you know, 6557, which, Noelle has done a fantastic job courting them. And so in this current issue, they happen to do a beautiful article on photography by Michael Scher, who's having a good night. So if you'd like to see it, I have a copy. You're welcome to peruse it. And we have bundles to distribute in town. So it's nice to have the magazine present in town, people to pick up, see both Napa Valley and Carmel. And hopefully we'll get the exchange going between the two communities, both big on art, from our standpoint. But it's a really beautiful magazine, so thank you, Noel, for continuing with them.
Oh, my pleasure. And when they reached out to me to see if I had an artist I'd like to recommend and pitch a story, and MJ came to mind, and they just jumped on it. I mean, he's got such a unique story, and as I said, he is, as far as I'm concerned, a member of the Arts Commission for all that he does for us, and it was such a joy to see that in there, and it's such a beautiful publication. I mean, a lot of us keep it out on our coffee tables, and a lot of the hotels put them out for people to see, and they really fly out. And Rhonda told me, Sam, that you got bundles. I just requested that some additional ones came to the community center.
Yeah, we got 3 bundles, so we
That's
kept
wonderful.
one and then took the rest to the chamber to distribute as well.
Great.
So I have them a couple out in the gallery, and I put a few more
Because the
out
more
when they
people
leave.
become aware of them and the more presence they have in Yountville, they'll start seeking them out, which is really nice.
I don't know if they left any at Ranch Market, and that's an okay location, but I think the chamber's really,
Yeah,
and us.
absolutely. Because I think they only used to leave a few at the chamber.
very few.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but Yountville is thriving now, and especially with that magazine, they also covered holidays in Yountville, and you saw the profile they did on Whitney, and it's just everything's really moving
That was
along
nice.
nicely.
Amazing.
Let's see, Art Sip and Stroll. The end of last year, just trying to get ahead of things, I pitched a story for Art Sip and Stroll, and they said yes, let's go with it. And I requested a writer, Betsy Renard, who's really very much aware of what goes on in Yountville. She wrote our article for Shop the Yountville Art Walk last year and did a beautiful job. So she has been assigned, and we just found out that the article is going to be due the end of this week. she's writing it. It's going to be a 300-word article highlighting the event, and Rhonda will be providing a quote. And I've provided some other content information because Betsy will write it, and she also was attending Art Sip and Stroll last year, and so she knows it very well. So she'll be writing that, which we're excited about. And we're also purchasing an ad for 6557, and we're working with Michael A. And Rhonda and I jumped on it. The deadline for that is March 1st, but we gave him a call, and we already have a preliminary ad. We're just fine-tuning it, and then we'll be able to share it at the next meeting. And everything's moving forward. We will definitely have it by March 1st. And we're just waiting to get some final information on Art Sip and Stroll, which I know we'll discuss when we get to that. And let's see, mustard celebration. The Chamber newsletter promoted that, and also on January 9th, Paul Franson did. Do you have that, Rhonda? Yes. Yay! Half-page article and poster art. So we're just moving on all cylinders. And that's it. Oh, no, excuse me, there was one more thing that I'm sorry I didn't get it in time, but the Chamber released their stats for holidays in Yountville, and since we're in the gift guide, and we have Shop the Yountville Art Walk, every time anybody engages with holidays in Yountville, they are in essence seeing our art walk. They are aware of Shop the Yountville Art Walk, and some of the stats are, it got 675,000 impressions on Google Network through at the end of November and December.
That's the website that goes to the
No,
shop?
they when they do advertising.
Oh, okay.
And then 556,000 social media impressions. 49% average open rate of email blasts coming about that. So
That's incredible.
It's just it's really it's great. We love doing it. We love being a part of the holiday gift guide, but it also gives us a lot of exposure in addition to the town of Yountville. So I was really excited about that. And then Sam, I just wanted to ask you if you want to move forward with the same videographer and photographer from PUC for Art Sip and Stroll. I will reach out to them.
Yes,
You
please.
good with that? Okay,
Please, please.
terrific. And that's it for marketing.
Thanks, Noel. Great job.
I just want you all to know that Michael Aronson and I offered to go to France so that, with Noel.
So we could all work on the ad
We could all
together.
work on the ad on the way over and do our thing, and then, on the way back, but she said
But
no.
we finished it before.
Yeah.
When we get on a mission and we want to get it done quickly, we talked to Michael the end of last week, and he had a first draft ad, which is pretty much just about there, a couple
Wow.
of changes. He had it last night for us. So we were able to jump on it this morning, and we're almost good to go. She's just magnificent.
Awesome.
Yeah.
A dynamic duo. Rhonda and Michael.
Definitely.
Okay, Judy, Performing Arts and other subcommittees.
So PJ is gone for the next 2 months, but her and I have been talking.
2 months?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
But we're still in touch with her, so we have dates. We are going to do 2 of the legacy roundtables. The first one we're going to do in April. We're trying to get nailed down. I'm still going to talk to you, Marita. But we're going to do veterans, and we're going to try to get somebody from each one of the arms of the military, and that will be the April. And then in the fall, and I know we picked a date out for this, Sam, but I can't remember. We're going to do a dance legacy roundtable. So it's going to be like line dance, like maybe disco or whatever. We're going to talk to Sam about that. We've also got a date for the movie in the park. And at this point, we want to do the
Bottle chalk?
yes, thank you. Is that what it's called? Yes, I can't remember. I'm losing my mind. And I think that's it for now. I think Rhonda's going to go over the merchandise
Oh, okay.
because that's very exciting.
So, okay, thank you. I do have the bag, which you've seen. And this is now officially ordered. That's how it's going to set up. And I'm not sure where we left the ball caps, Samantha.
I was waiting for a proof from him on the revised back, just so you can sign off on it. But I did get the color situation all locked in. So.
Oh, good. So what are we going to do? Are we going to do yountvillearts.com or not
On the back of the hat?
on the back of the hat?
Yeah, so I think what I asked him to look at was the square and then yountvillearts.com underneath that.
That sounds good.
And not Yountville Arts and yountvillearts.com, because then the text would be very small.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And then is it going to be along the back like we had talked about, or did you like it where it curved the upper part?
Oh, is that what you meant? So you were thinking along the strap?
That's what I was thinking, but
I'm actually not sure if they can embroider on the strap. I would have to ask him.
It wouldn't be on the strap unless it's a strap underneath it? Mm-hmm. Okay. Gee, a lot of them do that somehow.
I could ask him.
So otherwise you were thinking it was going to be in the arc?
Yeah,
Is that okay?
yeah, that's what he proposed, but I can ask him.
So Judy likes it.
Yeah, PJ got back to us too, and she likes it.
She likes that too?
Yeah,
Okay.
so.
Okay. Well, once I get that, I'll send it over and we can sign
So
off.
one thing we haven't discussed, and maybe I'm missing it, is when are we planning on rolling these out and how? Will we do any advertising, or that's still up in the air?
I don't think we've even talked about it.
Okay.
Do you have any thoughts about it?
No, let me think about that.
Yeah.
It should be something, I mean, we should be doing something,
I think it should be done at something we're already doing.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think we talked briefly about Art Sip and Stroll being, because that's kind of our next
the initial kickoff.
big
That's a
thing.
good
I mean,
idea.
we could premiere them at the art reception, but then it kind of takes away from the artist. So I think Art Sip and Stroll would be.
Will we
Well,
have enough, or will?
Yeah, I was going to say, we're only getting 100.
Well, we sell them out.
Yeah, that makes that
Oh, and then,
hot ticket, right?
It'll be like
Then
the
everybody
Trader
will
Joe
want
mini
one.
bags.
I don't know.
eBay for $2,000.
I mean, I'll go with what you guys think. It just seems like it's not very many of them for Art Sip and Stroll. I was thinking we would, I mean, and Art Sip and Stroll's not till May,
That's true.
and we're going to be getting them in March. So what are we going to do, just sit on them?
No, well, let's table this. Let's talk
Okay.
about that.
Okay.
Let me think on it a minute
Okay.
or a week.
Okay. Okay.
You're
So
thinking we'll have a reorder for Art Sip and
I was
Stroll.
thinking we would. And
I
if
like that thinking.
But Sam's not sure. So, I mean, whatever we think is going to make them successful. But if we are going to have a reorder, we should have a placeholder into the supplier because they take a long time to get, the bags do. So, we should make a suggestion to Sam. I mean, if we put it on our website or sent out.
Yeah, the problem is just handling retail on the regular like that is kind of difficult. We're not set up to do that. So if someone is buying a bag online and we have to ship it, or it's a one-off type of thing, it's not the business that I'm not willing to manpower. We don't have that. So originally what we had discussed was that they would be for sale at other things that we were doing. It doesn't mean you can't advertise it. Oh, come by and pick up a bag at whatever the event is, but I don't want to be in the retail business all the time, I guess is the point. Yeah, so. But if it's along with something we're already doing and the person takes it that day, then yes, absolutely, we can facilitate that. Yeah, setting up an online merchant and doing all of those things is not something I think we're not ready to do.
Can they be sold at the community center if someone actually comes and takes them, or?
Again, it's just this
Got it.
retail
No.
element that is just not something that we're really equipped to doing, handling, merchandise.
That's why the chamber is no longer selling merchandise.
It's a whole thing. I mean, as you know, Judy,
Yes.
we've talked about this too.
So will it be done the same way that we do all other sales? Is it the same POS system and?
At Art Sip and Stroll, is that what you're talking about, or
No,
in
like,
my mind?
is this going to be totally
We'll use
separate?
Square readers and do it that
Square.
way.
And it goes into a different account than the art does?
Yeah, the accounting part, no, I mean, it goes into a revenue account, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not really about where the money goes, it's just the manpower behind operating retail of any kind. It's just, yeah.
I think with 10,000 people at Art Sip and Stroll, and if a few people are walking around with the
Yeah.
tote bags, other people might say, where did you get that? And I think just by word of mouth and people carrying it, that there'll be a lot of buzz.
Well, we'd like to think so. It'd be nice to do a test market ahead of, because that's kind of what we're doing by only ordering 100 of them. Does the public like it? Does the public want it?
Right.
We don't know.
So we'll talk about it, but then, and I think it would be good to have somebody on our team. I would volunteer if we do it at an art opening to do the sales so that it's not coming from your bank of talent.
Yeah, and like I said, if it's an event and it's a start and end point, like we can definitely facilitate that. It's just having it be in, whether it's the front desk of the community center, it's really not set up for that. I don't have secure space. It's open when we're not open with the library. And so we're just not set up to provide, that type of a service. And then if you do sell things online and you have to get it to people, like that's a whole another ballgame, so.
So even if somebody sees or hears about it and they come to the gallery and talk to you or Caitlin, then you don't want to do that?
No,
No.
I don't.
Events only?
Yeah.
And I think you'd probably need a different permit if you're going to start shipping. So that's
I
just a
wouldn't
whole
go-
nother.
Shipping is a whole nother.
Yeah,
thing.
no, that's a whole nother
I
thing.
don't do that at
Yeah.
all. I mean, they can throw it in a suitcase.
So
if
we
they're
have, the town has a resale license because of the sale of art that we already conduct. And so it's not really about that. It's really just logistically, it's just not what we're set up to do. And if a person comes in and they want to buy a painting, it really is few and far between, out of the gallery. And so we facilitate that. But, I do know that there's a need in town. I'm just not convinced that we're the people that need to be filling that at the community center, I guess is my point. So, but we can see.
It should
how
go
that
in the
goes.
market when that opens up.
We have to
Oh, at the
share
farm stand.
money, and that's the problem. If another retail source picks it up, we're paying for it.
Yeah, okay.
We're not making a lot of money anyway. At least we didn't expect to by the pricing. So,
Okay,
I don't know.
we'll think.
Yeah, we need to think about that. The next event up is the next gallery show.
Yes.
That's-
Oh, Janice Adams and Jose Chavez.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the timing might be about right
Yeah.
for that. Okay. Any other committees that you're on, Judy?
No. No, sorry.
Okay, so the Mustard Celebration Subcommittee, I think, we have ongoing presence on their calendar, on the Mustard Celebration website. There are a lot of events going on. I think everything we're doing in Yountville of importance, I think, is on during the Mustard Celebration, should be on the calendar. And anything that you want to add, like if you wanted to add anything you've got going on, Jeffrey,
Okay.
you can go in. There's a password. Sam, we paid $100, so we can put in as many events as we want to. And it has a big following. So, and they're promoting the heck out of it. So think about it if you
Okay.
have
Thank you.
anything, any of us, including Judy's 20 committees.
Well, I did forget something, and I'm going to bring this up. I know most of you are not going to be part of this, but and this would probably be a great place to maybe be able to do the sales if we get them in time, is the Mardi Gras parade. So I'm getting volunteers to help stand in the back of the truck and throw things to the kids and blah, blah, blah. So we're going to move ahead with that. If anybody wants to ride, you can ride in the cab, that's fine. And Sam is getting us some umbrellas they're called second day parade umbrellas. So we'll have those, and so we should be fine for the parade. But maybe that's an opportunity, so we'll talk and see.
Yeah, if we can get everything together, or even maybe, I think the ball caps come in fairly quickly,
Yeah, we should have those
so maybe those.
by March 1st.
Could we have a space maybe set up in the commons and then, or
At the park
yeah,
after the parade.
yeah. Yeah, I would be
Absolutely.
willing to volunteer to do that.
That's a great idea. Okay. Mustard Celebration, like I was saying, I think that's about it. We've covered our part with the opening, and so I can move on from that. Sam, the Art Sip and Stroll update, what have you got for us?
Yeah, so as of today, we have 61 entries on the art call. So
That's great.
they have until February 16th. Yes, so midnight on February 16th, the art call will be open for artists. So we keep pushing that out there. I think we've done a couple of follow-up emails and on social media. So, and then I'll continue to share updates with the committee, Art Sip Stroll, just so if you see people are missing that, should be included. Historically, we get a flood, the weekend of the deadline. So I would for sure anticipate we'll be over 100 applicants, and then we'll have to jury them. So,
Could you send me the updated list of
yeah,
artists?
absolutely. It'll probably be Wednesday, but I'll send
Yeah,
it
no
out.
problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Wednesday's fine.
Otherwise, I think working, I've been emailing a little bit with PJ about music, and I think once we get through the jury process, we'll just sit down and hone in on what the layout will look like for the event and if we're going to be changing any of that. And then behind the scenes, we're working on a list of all of our summer events, Art Sip and Stroll included, to get food truck interest and get all those things working. I've already have the tenting contract based on last year, but any changes that we make. So yeah, everything seems to be moving along. Our goal is on March 1st to go live with tasting packages. So I know that we'll have that. We've already started working on that, and then the letters have gone out to the wineries and tasting rooms, and we've gotten a really strong response so far. I think 6 is what, didn't you tell me 6? 4 within 5 tentatively within the first couple days. So
Wineries?
yes, wineries, yeah. And so then Whitney in the Chamber of Commerce also very supportive in helping to push that out as well. So that's even without their support. And so we hope to add more wineries, and then we can discuss increasing our tasting passes. More wineries mean we can distribute the wine pouring more and hopefully meet those expectations of people who are disappointed when we sold out early on the day of the event. So, but we'll do our best. But yeah, everything's, I think, in line.
So for the press that it has to go out now, we've been saying a dozen plus wineries.
Perfect.
And 75 plus artists.
75. Okay, yeah.
What else have we
Sounds
run
good.
into?
The price.
Yeah.
45. You
45.
guys decided 45 is the
4
tasting
tokens.
package, and you get 4 tokens. Yep.
Perfect.
I'm
Then
just
we
saying
nailed it.
tokens. I'm not saying 4. I just figured plus tokens.
Okay.
4 tasting tokens.
Sounds good.
Okay. Well, that's great. That's a good start.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not till May. So.
I know, but it comes so quickly. Yeah.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
once we get the artists lined up, there's just, we'll start working on the website and then get all of our marketing, in line, and all of the things.
Well, thank you. That's great. That now that Caitlin's in training, now that she's gotten through right from the heart,
Yeah,
she can do anything.
I think training is over.
Yes.
Especially, I hope everybody's had a chance to see the pop-up history museum.
Yes, I was going to say, that's so excellent.
Bravo,
Really good
Caitlin.
job.
Great job.
It's fabulous.
Well done.
So, are there any commissioner comments or any reports?
I have one more thing I forgot to mention. So the other thing that PJ and I are working on, and we've gotten them down, we're narrowing down the bands for the music in the park. So we have a few new bands that we've been listening to, and so that's another thing that we've been working on. We're going to try to nail down soon.
Fantastic.
Excellent. Thank you. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, everybody.
I get inundated with bands. I get several emails a week.
Send them on to us.
Yeah,
We'll
I do.
listen.
I send them to PJ. I think she has a running list.
So, Sam, can you update us on the big celebration tomorrow?
Sure. So it might be raining. No, I'm kidding.
Likely.
So yeah, it's the town's 60th anniversary of incorporation tomorrow, and so it's the Diamond anniversary. So we're having the Diamond Jubilee next door. It starts at 4:00. It's kind of an open house format. You can come and go. If you can't get there right at 4, that's okay. So wine and food is Oak Avenue. So they actually, as you may have been following, the hall at the Commons has been renamed the Don and Sally Schmidt Hall. And so the recipes from Sally's cookbook, we chose 5 of them, and that's what Oak Avenue's prepared. So those will be kind of the past hors d'oeuvres, which will be really fun, and wine, thanks to Treasury Wine Estates and Judy helping me and working with me on that. And Madeline's Macaroons has made some special macaroons for the day. So it'll just be a nice opportunity for everybody to get together and celebrate the town. You'll have the last chance to go through the pop-up history exhibit. That'll close at the end of tomorrow. We also have a live photo booth there where it's a new company to us, but it's really fun where you touch the screen and it records you and you answer 3 prompts, and then they'll edit it all together for kind of a historical video for us to have. And so yeah, it should be a really great time. We have a very large tent with heaters and lights. We, obviously in March, not February, we're planning for inclement weather, and not all of the people can fit inside the Don and Sally Schmidt Hall. So it should be really nice. As you know, parking is fairly limited in the area, so we hope people carpool or ride the bee bus. Or walk in the rain with your thingies. Yeah. So, yeah. And right before that, we are having the 3:00 ceremonial council meeting here because it's a normal council meeting day. And so they'll receive some proclamations from Congressman Mike Thompson's office and Cecilia Aguirre-Curry. And then pretty fun is we'll be flying the Yountville flag for the first time. So if you've kind of followed that story, Robin Pizer was 8 years old when she created that flag in a second grade contest. It had hung above my desk all these years, and I never knew what it was until Randy Pena, who is a local very interested in history, was trying to track it down. And so we were hoping Robin would be here, but she's 8 months pregnant and has been told to stay close to home on bed rest. So she sent a really nice video, and we'll play that. So, and then we'll walk over for the 4:00. So yeah, we're excited to see neighbors, that obviously we see every day that live here, but then also some pretty special people that are coming back for the event. So it should be a good time.
Cool. It's a lot of work again, but rain or shine, I have every confidence, Sam, that you will take care of it, and it's going to be wonderful. So, and Noelle and Tim, of course, did the film that's being shown, it was a great job.
Thank you.
And even though those of us who were privileged to speak, they really held us to the 2 sentences or whatever it was, but it flows together really well. It seems like much longer than that. So you've probably heard it so many times, but I'm
it's
glad.
playing on the screen out front, and it's playing inside when we're open. I manned it on Friday, and you kind of hear it in stereo. But and the chamber obviously has been running on their social media, so we haven't duplicated that. But once the event is over, we'll post it on our website for people to see forever too. So thank you for that, Noelle. It was a great video.
It was totally our pleasure. It was wonderful.
So and the museum is still going to be open tomorrow. So that's great. I was afraid maybe we would lose it. So, but that's great.
Yeah, no, 10:00 tomorrow morning through the event. And and then we, obviously all that work's not just going to go away. So we are going to store it for a bit, but it sounds like we have the Locals Lounge that'll be opening in the Wellness Center. And so we hope to display it in there, a lot of the panels. So they'll get a lot of good use.
Yeah, that's super. And the tent is going to be out in front? Yeah.
The tent is in the back, so there's a tented walkway from the front between the buildings for check-in, and then it goes all the way into the big event tent, in the back.
Another great party in Yountville. Thanks, Sam. Are there any other commissioner comments or reports? No. Then is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second. All in favor of adjourning the meeting to March 3rd?
Aye.
Aye. And any nays? No. So motion passes.